Hi, this is Bart from Access Energy Transformation, talking to you about anger and sex, their connection. This is part 2 of a series about this wonderful topic of anger and sex. Most people would like a lot more sex than they would like a lot more anger. But the reality is that we have created through the history of time an inner relationship between anger and sex. In other words, where we have sexual energy, we have the energy of anger. And where would that be located in our body? In our gut, in our bowels, colon, perineum, sexual organs, all of those places. And why is anger stored down there? But that's usually where we suppress it. In other words, when we have unresolved anger, anger that is not expressed, where does it go in our body but down in our gut? That's where we suck it up and hold it in. Not only with anger, but rage, fury, hatred, all of those type of things. And it's so intertwined. It's just amazing, that relationship between sex and anger. And my interesting point of view about it is that a lot of people do sex with anger. In other words, their sexual expression has a lot of anger intermixed with it. A good expression of this is a lot of pornography today has very much anger in it. It's like whap, 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 whap of sexual emotion that has, if you really look at it and examine it, there is a lot of anger and domination with it. It's not loving and kind and caring. It's more like a force over somebody. And that's how a lot of people have interpreted anger and sex, or more importantly, that's how people have interpreted sex, which, in my interesting point of view, is not real pleasurable. Because sex is more about caring, kindness, generosity, nurturing, gratitude for your body and the other person's body, sharing. Those are really fun stuff. And sensuality, more importantly, of the experience of having a body, loving a body, and sharing that with another person. And so I think ideally most of us would love to have that, but something about this machismo, violence, anger that is so intermeshed in our society keeps coming into our sexual identities and sexual expressions. So these energies of anger and sex are really intertwined. And if we look at what the definition of anger is, it would be to take action. It would be this impetus to move forward, to resolve, to express. And it really starts down in the bottom of our gut, of that whole motion of where anger begins. And I didn't say emotion, I said motion. In other words, where the action starts. Really starts in our gut to express anger, and it comes out either through our voice, through our hands, through our mental processes, through our heart. All of these places. We don't always have to take action upon another to express anger, but the acknowledgement in us has to occur before it can really be released. But going back to the beginnings, or where anger starts, it really starts down in our stomach. So anger and sex do have some origins together, but that does not mean they have to be intertwined when we express our sexual feelings or our sexual actions. It's a lot more fun to keep those really separate and keep the caring, kindness, love, nurturance with another person and with ourselves active. So the best way to be able to not allow those to intermesh, it's to resolve our anger, resolve suppressed anger, and when we are angry, deal with it. resolve it, express it, know it. So this is Bart Sharp with Anger and Sex. I invite you to come play at my website at bartsharp.com. Creating Inner Wealth, Magic for Modern Times. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.